Welcome, friend, and thank you for agreeing to meet me here in this place of quiet refuge. A cheerful cottage garden on the outskirts of a rural English town. Though this may appear to be a simple garden, an exceptional seed of hope was once planted here. A seed that went on to blossom into a flower more vibrant than anyone could have anticipated. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I promise that my purpose for asking you here will be revealed in due time. First, let us take a stroll. Why don't we begin by approaching the curbstones that surround the garden path? How elegantly they curve, surrounding the crescent of foliage which outlines the well-worn brick and pebble path. Now, wind your way along the perimeter wall, taking note of each carefully laid brick. Who can say how old this stonework is? Look how the wild grass grows all around and through the crumbling stone. In some places, it looks as though the wall has been completely overtaken by verdant ivy. Flecked with green and gold, the foliage surrounding the path is truly a sight to behold. Come, let's move in further. Count the small stones that line the perimeter of the path. And while you do, you may begin to leave your thoughts from the outside world behind. Allow the garden to invite you into its peaceable, contemplative thrall. In such uncertain times, when so many negative thoughts and feelings abound, a garden is the perfect place to slow down, to return to oneself, and to observe the unimpeachable cycle of nature's growth and rebirth. See the paved flagstones in the center of the garden, which surround the mighty trunk of the tree. Atop the flagstones, beside some cheerful flower pots, a handsome old rocking chair has been set beneath the oak's sultry shade. And draped atop the arm of the chair is a cozy, hand-stitched quilt. This garden is clearly a place of sanctuary, a cloistered corner in which to contemplate the virtues of patience. It's easy to feel isolated these days, but if we stop and observe the world around us, can you see the solid trunk of the great oak tree? And the winding vines that hug its stalwart branches. And the lush emerald green leaves that burst forth from the branches, full of joie de vivre. Though the tree stands quiet and still, seemingly alone in the center of the garden, even now a vast expanse of roots are pushing through the soil below, connecting it to the earth, allowing it to communicate in its own steadfast way with every living thing. Look closer. Did you spot a nest of speckled robin's eggs in the nook, surrounded by pluming foliage? With its stillness and quiet fortitude, this tree offers protection and shelter to its airbound friends. When we look and listen to the world around us, we realize that we are never truly alone. Can you feel the lovely breeze that has spread a spattering of fallen leaves across the path? I'm reminded of the steady care it must have taken to tend such a garden as this. Not to mention the various tools, like this rake leaning against the tree trunk. And right across it, on the stone wall, a gleaming watering pail. What about the trusty shovel that's been dug into the fertile patch of soil? Gardens and gardeners have much to teach us. It is said that gardeners always stay optimistic because through trial, error, and a great deal of perseverance, they learn to accept the things that lie beyond their control and work around them. Did you know that there's a hidden language to flowers in English gardening tradition? The hollyhock, for instance, which you can see here sprouting high above the garden wall, is a well-known symbol of ambition. Tall, blooming, towering high above the rest with its bright yellow pistil and deep purple petals, this proud plant seems to remind us to never cease striving, no matter how difficult the odds may seem. And what about its gentle neighbor, the hydrangea? With its pretty pink flowers, clumped gracefully together in rising and falling formations, the hydrangea represents gratitude. Its lovely little blossoms remind us to be grateful for each blessing bestowed upon us, no matter how small or simple. Set in pots around the garden, you may find the hardy geranium. Tough, long-lasting, and insistently bright in gleeful pink and simmering orange, the geranium signifies enduring friendship. Unfaltering, it asks us to recognize those who stick with us through thick and thin, and summons within us the courage to be just as loyal in return. Erupting all about the garden in exciting little patches, we may find phlox flowers. Unbridled in its loveliness and scent, high-flaming phlox is a testament to the power of positivity. It recalls in us the strength one may derive from being in harmony with their surroundings. And of course, we mustn't forget about the dazzling foxglove. The bell-shaped petals of the foxglove were once thought to be the gloves of the fairy folk, hence their name, foxglove. The reverence-inducing foxglove reminds us that there is magic in the world and bids us to protect it and preserve the earth's magnificent bounty. Last but not least, wrapping its way around the tree trunk, is the thorny, rambling rose. rambling rose makes a convincing case for mindful patience. Though the crawling vine of the rambling rose lies dormant for most of the year, when it blossoms, it does so with such strength and vibrance that one cannot help but be suffused with happiness at its arrival. How graceful, how timeless, how romantic is the rambling rose. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it surprising how fluent a garden can speak if we are willing to listen? What once seemed still and quiet is now loud with inspiration. That's all well and good, you may be thinking, but why this garden in particular? You probably didn't notice, but up until this point, it's taken you exactly 95 taps to color this sleepscape. It will take you just 5 more to complete it, making 100 taps. There's a reason we've left the stepping stones for last. Time to make your way along the path. The keeper of this garden, a man known to his friends and family as Captain Tom, understood that great achievements such as the creation of a bounteous garden are born from planting small seeds and tending them with steady determination. Let's make another step. At the impressive age of 99, Captain Tom was blessed with health and vitality. Yet, suddenly met with a global health crisis, Captain Tom felt he had to do something to help. He decided to walk 100 laps around his garden before his 100th birthday to raise funds for Britain's National Health Service. After years of tending his garden, Captain Tom knew that even little steps can make the world around us flourish. But he could not have anticipated the sheer beauty and magnitude of what he was about to inspire. Word of Captain Tom's charity effort began to spread, and the small seed he'd planted blossomed into a full-blown sensation. His actions inspired the nation, and his story became a guiding light of hope that broke through the darkness of troubling times. And we're nearly there. You're about to make your 100th tap. To honor Captain Tom, I've invited you into his garden and asked you to replicate his 100 victorious laps. And look, in that brief time, how much color and light you've brought into this corner of the world. As you drift off into well-deserved repose, I encourage you to hold on to the knowledge that, in the face of adversity, even the smallest of your actions make a difference, and hope is never, ever fruitless. Good night, my friend, and see you soon.